Memphis Grizzlies. What would you give up for Kevin Durant? And does that make y'all a finals contender? Let's get into it. What's going on, everybody? This is Temperature Check. I am your host, as always, man. Mr. Check the Temperature. How y'all doing? I wouldn't be who I am if I ain't do what I do. So shout out to my brand news and my day ones. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and of course, make sure you copy that Temperature Checker Pearl. Check the community post. Memphis Grizzlies, the feisty Memphis Grizzlies, led by the Ja Morant, the most explosive player, the most exciting player in NBA right now. If you ask me, personal opinion, yes, I'm a Memphis Grizzlies fan. Yes, I'm a huge Ja Morant fan. No, it did not start just last season. It actually started when he was at Murray State. He's doing the same thing at Murray State that he's doing in the NBA right now. I've been a fan. I've been around the block, man. Ask about me. When it comes to the Memphis Grizzlies, I'm hearing some things. I am hearing some things. They are trying to acquire one Kevin Durant. What are you willing to give up for Kevin Durant? Now, we saw the Memphis Grizzlies last year have an incredible season. And if you ask me, they could have they had a chance to beat Golden State. If Ja makes the layup in game one, they already won game two by 50. Could you imagine the Memphis Grizzlies going up 2-0 on Golden State? That's what my image was. But obviously it didn't end like that. The Grizzlies were eliminated by Golden State. So as you look at the landscape of the NBA right now, the Memphis Grizzlies in the Western Conference. Let's see what we can, generally put them right now. Coming out the West, you gotta have Golden State. You probably got the Clippers up there. The Phoenix Suns is number 3, although I do not trust them long term. I feel like their window has officially closed. And I think then that's where you probably placing and the Memphis Grizzlies, giving them the 3 or the 4 spot, in my personal opinion, preseason. So the team that they've built, obviously they've built around Ja Morant. They've built a young nucleus of players. And you see teams like the Celtics, you see teams like Golden State that have really homegrown their talent to get to where they are right now. Obviously, when you look at Golden State, homegrown Steph Curry, homegrown Draymond Green, homegrown Klay Thompson. That's the nucleus that has been the better part of a decade. You look at Ja Morant in the Memphis Grizzlies. You got Ja Morant, you got Desmond Bane, you got Jared Jackson, you got Dillon Brooks. Are you willing to blow that up for Kevin Durant? And what would it take? So the initial offer that we're hearing in regards to the Memphis Grizzlies trying to acquire Kevin Durant, Brooklyn, they're trying to send Brooklyn 4 unprotected draft picks, which I'm pretty sure Brooklyn likes, but young players. They're trying to send Brooklyn young players. That ain't gonna work. Not for Kevin Durant, not for a generational talent, not for arguably the number 1 or number 2 player in the league right now, probably the best scorer, offensive scorer of all time. The man can shoot from anywhere on the court. Like, I know we be all enamored with Steph Curry and the way he's able to shoot, but that's also because he little. He a little dude. He only like 6'3". When you looking at Kevin Durant, 7 foot, pulling up from 35, there's nothing you can do with that. There's nothing you can do with that. So are you willing to blow up your team for Kevin Durant? And what would it take? Now, me, as I look at this roster and I remember what happened last playoff season, am I willing to give up Jared Jackson? Who, that's kind of steep. 17-6. He's a 17-6 guy. First team all defense. God. But he did just have knee surgery. And you never know, man, when the big guys are having knee problems early, that's not a good indication on what is to come. That's not a good indication on what is to come. Pause if necessary. Then you looking at a Desmond Bane, who arguably a lot of people said should have won Most Improved Player, even though they gave it to teammate Ja Morant, which I understand, but still kind of crazy. One of the best 3-point shooters in the league, one of the premier young talents in this league. Then you got a Dillon Brooks. Now I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm not that high on Dillon Brooks. I am not that high on Dillon Brooks. I understand he played defense, but his offensive game is trash to me. I'm like, his shot selection be, if Ja Morant is not in the game, his shot selection is hot ass. For some reason, he think he got a green light that I don't know who gave it to him. John Legend, get your green light back. Street Signs in Memphis, get your green light back from Dillon Brooks. I'm not that high on Dillon Brooks. He's a gritty player. He's a gutsy player. I like the tenacity that he plays with, but his offensive game to me is just a little bit too sporadic and inconsistent for me. So would I be willing to give up 4 unprotected picks, Jarrett Jackson, Dillon Brooks? I might even throw in a John Contour. If you don't know who that is, he's a role player, number 46, shooting guard, 6'5", 210. Pretty good shooter. Yes, in one word, yes. If you can get Ja Morant and Kevin Durant in the same jersey, are you serious? One of the things that they talk about with Kevin Durant is his inability to lead people, lead teams. We see the struggles in Brooklyn. He says he just wants to hoop. We know that. Guess what? Memphis already has a culture. Led by Ja Morant, we already have a culture. We already have a physicality. We already have a grittiness about us, a tenacity about us. It's a bunch of dogs over there. It is a bunch of dogs over there that's looking for smoke. Now, this is my problem, though. Although I would have done this deal, where is the discretion? We got to be a little bit more quiet with how we moving. I hate when we get trade rumors and we start listing players and then they don't get moved. Because at that point, you got to look at the nucleus and the chemistry of the team and saying, are we messing this up? We see what's going on with Boston and Jaylen Brown. They didn't offer this man up 2 years in a row. Every time there's a Boston trade, who is the first person you hear getting called out? Jaylen Brown. No matter what he does, he put the team on his backlash in the finals. He put the team on his back in the finals. Shout out Jason Tatum. He from the city. He from the crib. I'm from St. Louis. You from St. Louis. But we got to keep it a buck. Jaylen Brown was the MVP of the finals for the Boston Celtics to me. But his name is constantly in trade rumors. And eventually that takes a toll on your mental as a player, your confidence as a player, and it takes a toll on the chemistry of the team. I don't want to see that for Memphis. I do not want to see that for Memphis. So when we doing these negotiations, let's be a little bit more quiet. But to sum it up, yes, one word, yes, I would get Kevin Durant. Could you imagine Kevin Durant and Ja Morant on the same team? Kevin Durant don't need the ball. Imagine Ja Morant going to the hole 2-3 defenders instead of taking the big dunk, the body dunk. Oh, he's just gonna pass it to the corner for KD with the open 3. He's gonna penetrate and drive. He already can give you a double-double. He could average a double. He could literally average a double-double in assists with Kevin Durant on it. If you had Kevin Durant and Desmond Bane, think about that nucleus. Think about that shooting nucleus. Kevin Durant, Desmond Bane. And Ja Morant is not a bad shooter from 3. He has improved his 3-point shot. I think this is very interesting. Do I really think this will actually go through for Memphis? I don't think Memphis really wants to break up the nucleus, break up the chemistry that they've already built. Although for me, I would, because it's win now. When you got Ja Morant, you see that he's a little bit injury prone. You don't know how long that athleticism is going to be there. You don't know how long that speed and that agility is going to be there. You got to take advantage and strike while the iron's hot. Desmond Bane's still on a rookie contract. You got to take advantage of that right now while you got him, because he's going to be a maxed out player. He's going to be a maxed out player when his contract is up. So if you're asking me, I would do it. Push the chips in. Memphis. No one that has this is the first year I can say that there's actually expectations on the Memphis Grizzlies. They got 18 NBA nationally televised games this year. Obviously, the pressure and the microscope is on the Memphis Grizzlies to perform at a high level. We got to keep that momentum. So if it's me, I'm pulling the trigger. But let me know what y'all think in the comment section. I'm gonna be covering more sports topics. We're gonna be doing the NBA. We're gonna be doing NFL, man. Make sure that y'all like, comment, subscribe to the channel. This is Temperature Check. I am your host as always, man. Mr. Check the Temperature. Like, comment, subscribe, like I said, and you know the motto.